Briskin.
Steve Stein.
Joanna Puritz.
Where were you born?
Newark, New Jersey.
Wilmington, North Carolina.
Tokyo, Japan.
How long have you lived in Wilmington?
45 years.
Born here in 1948, and I'm still here.
30 years.
What was your favorite trip?
To Israel, first time.
My favorite trip was going to Israel with my lovely wife. That was the best trip I ever had in my whole life.
My favorite trip was in 1974, and I went on a tour of Egypt.
What did you do after high school?
I went to work as a bookkeeper.
After high school, I worked for a construction company that put a roof on the top of a Corning glass plant here in Wilmington. It was a very bad job.
I enrolled in Western State College in Colorado, which is mainly a ski school. Although I did make good grades, I ended up leaving school, choosing to go into a career.
What are your hobbies?
Crocheting, reading. Used to be baking.
Yeah, my hobbies, I like fishing, like playing golf. I'm not good at it. I like collecting coins because I like history. Collect some stamps, and that's pretty fulfilling there.
My hobbies are only, at this time in my life, pickleball. I love pickleball. I'm obsessed with pickleball.
What is your favorite food?
Ice cream.
Favorite food is meat roll and cabbage. Really like meat roll and cabbage, and chopped liver.
My favorite food is a T-bone steak.
Favorite fashion trend in your lifetime?
Well, I don't know if it's a trend, but through many, many years, my heels had to match my pocketbook, and we changed our pocketbooks just about every day back then.
When I was going to junior high school, you'd wear a light blue shirt and a blue pair of pants and a light pair of socks to match.
The 70s, when we were mixing hippiedom with really hip clothing, and disco dancing was the best.
What did you do during COVID quarantine?
During COVID, I was at home most of the time. I went on every Zoom program that I could find. Didn't see anyone. My daughter would come in sometimes wearing a mask, and I would wear a mask, and just went about my normal life as best I could.
Mm-hmm. So what would your daily routine sort of be like?
The daily routine is like everyone else: getting up, showering, having breakfast, getting dressed, doing a little bit of exercise, going out for a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Would you go on walks, go outside sometimes?
Yes, we did walk,
Mm-hmm.
and there were people outside sometimes, and we would wave to each other and say, "No mask, we're apart."
Mm-hmm. And were you able to participate in shul?
During COVID?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yes, I was in every Zoom program that we had,
Mm-hmm.
and it helped a lot. It would have been very difficult without Zoom.
What is your key to a good life?
Well, that's a hard question. A lot of keys. Okay. The biggest one is be kind and humble. Okay. I don't mean let somebody walk all over you. Don't be angry at anyone, but never forget. Okay. And that'll give you a more pleasant feeling in life. You don't have to be angry when you see someone. And never look for thank you. You know, if you're gonna give somebody something, don't look for a thank you. That's extra if you get it. Yeah. And be good to older people, because one day you're gonna be old too.
And would you say that you think you've followed all of these things? Do you think that you've lived a good life?
I think I've lived a good life. I thank the good Lord for the life that I have. It's you know, it's fulfilling.
What advice would you give to a teen growing up now?
Be yourself. Don't try to be anyone else but yourself. It's just really important to own who you are and not trying to take pieces from other people to fix you. Fix yourself and you'll be great.
What would you tell your 18-year-old self if you could?
The biggest mistake I made in my life was to decide not to go to college at that age. I was going to go, and then the month before I had a very good job and I had a very nice salary, and I decided not to go to college.
Where would you have wanted to go to college?
I had a scholarship to Rider College in New Jersey.
How do you think like your life might have played out differently if you went to college?
That's a hard one. I probably would have met different people and been involved with many different things. Whereas when I went to work, I had my family, I had my friends, and everything was the same as it was before.
If you could time travel to your great-grandparents and ask them a question, what would it be?
I want to know how they lived their life. What did they have? What was their religion to them? A lot of different questions for my father. He died at an early age, I think when my father was around 14 or 15. So his side of the family never knew much about him. I can remember my great-grandmother living in Wilmington, and she's buried here. But the question, you know, I would like to know is, where did you come from? What was life there? Basically, how hard was life there?
What is your earliest or fondest Jewish memory?
My fondest Jewish memory was probably about 5 years ago. And I decided I wanted to be bat mitzvah. And of course I didn't want to do it alone. So I got all my friends together. And I first got Lee, and of course she got Martha, and then we had Pam, and then Brenda and myself, and we became the Fab Five. And we studied really hard. And Lee and I had the hardest time because we were the oldest. And of course, the older you get, the harder it is to grasp new images. And to read those letters was so difficult. But the satisfaction of getting in front of the whole congregation and reading my little bit of Hebrew right off of the Torah was just amazing. It was just so fulfilling. And we all did it. And we're all so tight to this day. I'm proud to have shared it with all these women.
What is one Jewish artifact in your home that means a lot to you?
My daughter sent that to me from Florida, and it's by an Israeli artist, and it shows the wall in colors, and if you look at it from the side, you could see like bronze and brass colors in the painting. And Miriam Friedman, who was the rabbi's wife who lived here many years ago, said she's a well-known artist, but I forgot the name.
What's the most meaningful part about it to you?
The most meaningful part is it's the wall, and how I felt when I first went up to it, which is one of the highlights of my life.
What is one Jewish artifact in your home that means a lot to you?
Well, there's a lot of artifacts, you know, but one that I use all the time is a sitter that I got when I was bar mitzvah. And it's inscribed on the front on what date I was bar mitzvah, and who gave it to me. And I use it every Friday night when we light the Shabbat candles right behind you. I still have the tefillin that my father gave me, and I still have my old tallis. Wouldn't wear it now; it turned all yellow. But those are the main things.
What is one Jewish artifact in your home that means a lot to you?
This platter I'm holding in my hand, it says Sei gesund, which means to your health. And it was given to our family by Wendy Block, the matriarch of the Block clan here in Wilmington. So it's just a pleasure, to have something like this to remember someone that has now left us.
What does Bnai Israel mean to you?
When I first came to Wilmington, I didn't know anyone, and within a few months, we joined Bnai Israel. We didn't have a rabbi at that time. There were a few years without a rabbi. And then when Rabbi Waxman came, it became so much better. The services were better. My daughter was going to Hebrew school at the time, and the first time she saw him, she said to me, "Ma, the new rabbi has jeans and plays a guitar." And it became more interesting, and we had nighttime classes, and after a long time, I went to bat mitzvah classes with Rabbi Waxman, and I was bat mitzvahed. And now when all of my old friends are gone, I found new friends, and the shul was like coming home to family when I get there.
What does Bnai Israel mean to you?
It is a major part of my life. When I was a young boy, lived on Keaton Avenue, which was probably about 5 blocks from the synagogue. Went to the synagogue every Friday night with my father at 8 o'clock. On Saturday, I'd walk to where my grandmother was, and I'd walk to her to the synagogue. The Jewish community was the total part of my life. Going to the synagogue was part of my whole life. When you sit there at Rosh Hashanah and you're saying, when is this going to be over? I asked that same question to my father. I said, "Dad, what time do you have? Don't worry about it. It's over when it's over." But same questions you probably asked are the same questions I asked. But it means everything in my life.
What does Bnai Israel mean to you?
What does Bnai Israel mean to me? Bnai Israel is the whole part of the universe that comes together under the sanctuary. It feeds my spirituality because I really feel the spirituality from it. I'm a real spiritual person, and that's the place to go and be quiet with yourself and absorb the peace that it brings. It's a good place to eat too.
Bnai Israel meant a specific thing to each person we interviewed in this video, but there was a common theme between them, a feeling of togetherness. As Hebrew high school students, we feel a deep connection to our synagogue and enjoy spending time with the community.
We also really enjoyed making this video and talking to synagogue members who have been part of Bnai Israel for a long time. They shared many interesting aspects of their lives that we didn't know before, and we are so glad that we get to share their stories with you. This video was made by our class with the help of Mike Smith and Rabbi Bender. We also want to thank Anita, Steve, and Joanna for being a part of this project. In order to make this video ready to present to you, we each had specific roles. Lillian as editor, Eve as interviewer and assistant editor, Kyla as staging manager and assistant editor, and Edie as assistant editor.
Thank you!